Today we're going to take a look at drawing feet, and feet are one of those things that people think is just incredibly hard to draw, and sometimes I'll see students hide the feet. They'll put grass blades over the top of the feet, or they'll do anything they can to hide the feet. But drawing feet is really like drawing anything else. You just break it down into shapes. You break any object down into shapes and draw the shapes, and then everything else just falls in line. So I'm going to draw 3 different feet here, and the first foot I'm drawing here, you might have seen I started with a kind of a wedge shape, and that's going to be the meat part of the foot. And then all I did after that was draw a shape to indicate where the toes were going to be, and a shape for where the heel of the foot is going to be. And then after that, you can draw your contour lines, and remember the contour lines are the outlines. And then I indicate a little bit of a light source here. And now I'm going to draw some of the value or some of the shadowed areas to indicate more of the form of the foot. So drawing feet doesn't have to be hard. All you have to do is think about the shapes. And of course, these are the feet I'm going to be drawing here are actual feet. There's no shoes involved in here, but shoes on the feet are just easier because then you don't have to worry about toes and the heel and that kind of stuff. It's just basic shapes. So just adding a little bit of value here after I've drawn the shapes and drawn the contours, it gives you an idea of the foot sitting there. Okay, so now we're going to do another one from a different angle. And again, I'm going to start with that wedge shape. So it's a little fatter at one end, it's a little skinnier on the other end, and this is going to be the bottom of a foot. And then I just drew a shape to indicate each one of the toes, and now here I'm putting a shape to indicate the heel. Now after I've done that, I've done all the hard work. And really there's no hard work included in drawing feet. It's not hard at all. And now right now what I'm doing is just indicating at the bottom of the foot where the value is going to be. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of an ankle in there so you can understand the way the foot is a little bit more. And indicating a light source. And then on the bottom part of the foot, in this case, it's going to be really dark because the light source is coming from above. So I'm just going to define that. Now where the arch of the foot comes up, it's going to be a little bit lighter. That's why I've got that little hook shape right there, because it's going to be lighter right there. It's going to be a lighter value. So really, it's very easy to draw feet. All you have to do is pay attention to the shapes that are there. Now, unlike other parts of the body, like arm or leg, a foot is generally always going to be that wedge shape. You don't really have a lot of flexibility in how far you can bend a foot, so that's not going to change too much. And you can see here while I'm adding the value, the definition of the form of the foot is starting to come out. Give a little bit of value on the back end of the foot, back end of the heel, just to give it a little bit of more of a feeling of being curved and being round. And there you go. So we're going to draw one more foot here. Again, I'm going to start with that same wedge shape, and it's a little bit more modified because this time the foot is going to be pointing downward. So this would be kind of more of a side view of the foot. And again, I'm just looking at shapes. I'm breaking everything down into shapes. Now, of course, the toes are a more organic shape. The shape of the foot obviously is an organic shape, but if you put a couple of geometric shapes together like squares and triangles, it makes drawing the foot a little bit easier. And then after we've got the shapes defined, we can go back and do those contour lines. Remember, the contour lines are the outlines. And then add a little bit of value to define the form of the foot a little bit more. Now again, these are quick sketches. If I was doing a finished drawing, I would spend a little bit more time with this, but really the only time I would invest in it is in creating that value, making a smooth value and adding the details like the toenails and maybe the little cracks in the feet that might be there. But I would do all of that with value. The basic principles that you need to understand when you're drawing feet, again, like drawing anything at all, break it down into shapes. Then you have enough information to draw the contour lines. I think the problem comes in when people try to draw feet is they just don't look at feet enough. So they make assumptions about feet and think that they're hard to draw, and they're really not. All you have to do is break them down into shapes. Again, just like drawing anything, break it down into shapes and it's so easy. Drawing does not have to be hard. When you're drawing the feet, just think about that wedge shape. Think about where your heel's going to be and where your toes are going to be. If you break it down in that shape, you can't go wrong. This has been another video tutorial brought to you by thevirtualinstructor.com.